Good evening, and again, my name is Matt Gardi, and I'm running for State Representative District 120. I'm currently the Information Systems Director at the State Attorney's Office, and prior to that, I've worked in IT at the Public Defender's Office, the Naval Air Station, and my wife and I have run a successful business down on Duval Street previously. My political experience back in the 90s, I was actually an elected Republican in the city of Burlington as a city councilor in Burlington. I served on the Burlington City Board of Finance, and I've also served on I chaired the City Liquor Control Commission in the city of Burlington, and served on the Court Diversion Hearing Board. The reason I got in this race is because I think there's a severe fiscal crisis facing our state. I don't think anyone really at the state level, incumbents, state administrators, are really seriously addressing it. I don't think the media is giving it attention. And I also think there's a void of ideas in regards to how to find solutions to the fiscal problem that's facing us. Regarding the questions, the class school size amendment. First of all, that differs in my philosophy in terms of a cookie-cutter approach from a central government. Right now, I think that kind of issue, whether the class size, should be left in the hands of the principals, school board administrators at the local level, because certainly the schools in Key West are not the same as the schools in Orlando, and the challenges between each of the schools are not the same. And to try to push a cookie-cutter approach down is really inefficient, and you're not doing a service to anybody throughout the state. Further, I don't think it's something that should be brought through as amendments. You're trying to create legislation and try to control something from the standpoint of the state constitution. And you're seeing what the problem with that is, because we're going right back to another amendment to amend an amendment because of the failures of the one that was enacted in 2002. So we should not adopt those kind of cookie-cutter approaches. Further, the administration at the state level from the Department of Education has spent $1 gazillion trying to study and implement this, and that would have been better in the hands of the teachers and the principals at the local level, funneled directly to them. The next question was the redistricting. This is kind of interesting because one of my reasons I'm campaigning is because I'm tired of the status quo. I'm tired of special interests controlling our government. And this gets back to kind of playing a game with politics, which I think is turning off the general public in terms of politicians in general and government in general. And the redistricting amendments that are on there, 2 of them, 5 and 6, that were brought by the public to be on the ballot in November, I think are just in terms of we should try to do things by geographical lines, by municipal lines, but more importantly, I think we should do it by computer and take the human interest out of it. We can create algorithms that can get these districts made without the influence of politics, regardless of which party is in control at the time. Granted, as Republicans, we might be happy that there might be some kind of benefit to what was going to be happening with Amendment 7, but we can't have that because next time it might be the Democrats, and people are disgusted with that kind of stuff at the state level. So I don't support the way of sectioning it off in terms of politics. We should do it by computer. Finally, the last question regards the wastewater. This gets back to, we have a huge project. There are a lot of laudable causes that consume our state budget and a lot of reasons we should be spending money. But unfortunately, because of the fiscal crisis, we have to address our spending. Now, regardless of how the wastewater projects are going to be paid for, we have to maintain our spending and control our fiscal picture so that we can attract bonds, people buying bonds, whether it be municipal or state level, however we do pay for it. If we disregard the way we're spending our money and budgeting for the future right now in the state, the cost of the debt to complete the project is going to be that much more. So the priority, regardless, is to cut state spending. And if you go to my website at www.mattgardi.com, you'll see one of my proposals is we have to come up with a number, 25% out of the state budget. We have to cut that budget by 25%. At that point, once you start addressing your fiscal crisis, you can attract people who will contribute to the needs that you have in terms of debt, and that will keep the cost low on that debt, whether it comes from the state or the county level. The project also has to be pushed off into the future and accommodated and not overwhelm us in terms of costs. But thank you. Again, Matt Gardi, running for state representative. Thank you.